came into my life actually, I'd say probably more than 12 or 15 years ago. I started to hear through some friends of mine in Boston this kind of underground, slightly secret story about maybe these kids at MIT, maybe some other college, university, that had actually formed teams and gone to Vegas and were making money. But nobody would confirm it. It was sort of like an open secret. At the time, Danny Bernetti, who's one of our lead producers on the film and runs my film company, he even wrote a treatment about it, but it just kind of never went anywhere because we didn't know the facts of the story. And then one day, about 5 years ago, he was walking down the street in New York and he passed a newsstand and there was a Wired magazine that said the true story of the MIT students who took Vegas for millions, and he grabbed it off the stand and he called me. And it turned out that article was written by Ben Mesrick, and it was in connection with the book that was about to come out, Bringing Down the House. So we ultimately, we tracked Ben down, literally Googled him and found a number in Boston and cold called him. And he was on a plane to Los Angeles the next day. We made a deal with him to produce the film version of the book, and here we are a little more than 5 years later, finally it's coming out in the theaters. So for us, it's been an incredible journey of always believing that this story would have made a good film. Going through a kind of a period of delay when we sold it to MGM, and then they got bought up, and there was about 4 years of sort of vamping time until Sony decided to pick it up, and we couldn't be more delighted that it's finally reaching the screens. Well, Mickey Rosa he's not really based on anybody specifically. It's sort of an amalgamation of a number of different people, but essentially the idea is that he's a professor at MIT, and I suppose all professors might go through the question of, how much money do you make as a teacher in this country? As we know, teachers are not paid as much as they should be. So he finds this other way to make money, and it started for him, for us in the backstory, that he was actually on one of these teams when he was younger, and then teaches these kids how to count cards, and is sort of the leader of these groups that go to Vegas and role play and work in teams, and they did make millions and millions of dollars. I mean, it is quite stunning that it works. I know it works because as part of our research, we came to Vegas with a couple of people who were on the team, one of the teams. And although they're not allowed to play, they stood behind me, and the casinos didn't mind they were there. And every time they wanted me to up my bet, they just push against my chair. I won every time. So it works.
Now, this new English fellow, Jim, he's pretty amazing.
No, he's done a great job, and I think he also did a very fine job in Across the Universe. We always knew we wanted somebody who more than likely was unknown. There's something about an audience being able to discover a performance in an actor, and you don't come in with lots of preconceived notions, particularly for the central role. And this character, in some ways, always reminded me a little bit of the Tom Cruise character in Risky Business. That suddenly you find yourself at a very young age with the opportunity to make lots of money, and how does that change you, and what does it do to you, and what are the decisions that you ultimately will make about the kind of person you want to be. And so there's a little bit of that morality tale at work as well, but basically we hope the movie's entertaining for people.